Minutes is going to take?
Like 5.
Okay, because I got a lot of stuff to do today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please tell us your name and what you do?
My name is Dwight Worley, president of St. Albans Handball Association.
What's going on today?
Today is the biggest tournament we have in our sport. It's called the King of the Courts.
How it became so big?
Over the years, over the last 25, 26, 27, 28 years, it's been growing. Every year it's just been growing. We normally have well over 100 players.
How many players do we have today?
Today we cut it out because of the holiday. We have things to do on our regular date, which is the end of July. So we cut the brackets down so we could finish in one day instead of two. So we have I think it's like 75 players today.
What are your expectations? Well, how do you feel about this tournament?
I think this is the greatest tournament that we had around and needs more exposure because we don't have the high big time sponsors, the corporations and stuff, so it hasn't grown like this thing called pickleball, which I think is boring. If the play people really watch this sport, they'll see that this is like 100 times more entertaining and that you have some of the world's greatest athletes who play this sport.
What are the world's greatest athletes?
Well, you could take, if they watch the YouTube videos and all that, they'll see for themselves. They can look at it and see. It's a very entertaining sport, and the skill level is like ridiculous.
What makes you a big fan of handball for running so long?
Well, I was a fan of handball since I was a kid, about 10 years old, and I just used to play all the time, and I just fell in love with it.
And who are your partners? Who are you running with?
Well, you mean organizers? Oh, you got Vice President Karen McConey. Secretary is Gladys Miranda, and Secretary and Treasurer. And we have he's our graphic designer. And Barbara, she's the one that keeps our paperwork together.
You also give out the A cards.
Yes.
Can you please tell us how do you appreciate a player to?
Well, you watch them over the years as they develop. And when you find a player that's capable of competing with all the top players, then you know he's ready to be an A player.
And how long usually takes an average in years?
Well, it's not a different player. Every player is different. Some players has got like a natural ability. So if they start playing within 3 to 4 years, they're competing with the top players. Some it take maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 years. It all depends how hard they work to get the game together. Yeah, I created the A card 30 years ago because we used to have players, all the top players, the really great players, they'd enter these tournaments with their average, below average players, and they just beat them all the time. So now we had to put them in categories so the top players will play against the top players. The lower players will be able to play in tournaments where they'd have a chance to win. That was the whole purpose of it.
What do you want to see in handball?
I want to see handball make it to the Olympics. And if people see someday someone is going to realize what a great sport this is, and they're going to invest in it, and they're going to become billionaires because this sport is so exciting.
What you don't like to see in handball?
I don't like to see some way that some players conduct themselves, but we are trying to weed that out of the sport, and it's been pretty successful. It's getting much better each year because the players know that this nonsense that used to go on, we don't allow no more. You know, you got these little pop-up tournaments, as I call them. They still let some of the nonsense go on, but they don't realize that's bad for the sport. You got to conduct yourself, have the same major rules, and apply the same level of integrity to the sport.
We're looking forward to the sportsmanship and showmanship today. Thank you very much for the work you do, sir.
Pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please tell us your name and what do you do?
My name is Karen McConey. I'm Vice President of St. Albans Handball Association.
How long have you been participating, organizing this tournament?
Over 25 years.
Why do you do it?
We put together tournaments, local tournaments, and we try to we're trying to broaden this sport, make it bigger as much as possible.
We have king of the courts. Where is queen of the courts?
Well, Queen of the Courts, we did start it off having Queen of the Courts, but over the years, the women have dwindled because whatever life takes them, so it's not a lot of women playing anymore, singles, so we don't really do it anymore.
How do you feel about today's tournament?
Today's tournament, hopefully everything goes good, the weather holds up, and it turns out great, as always.
Who are the most angry players that you see today coming here?
The one that really wants to, you have Thavo, you have Gio, you also have Kadeem, who was last year, not last year, the year before the pandemic. He was a winner, but he was never able to defend his title. So now he's back. He was away in the service, so now he's back and he's hungry. He definitely wants to get back that title. So hopefully he can do something today.
A little more about the females tournaments. How can we improve the state?
It's very hard, you know. When I was playing, there were a lot of women playing, you know. So I don't know the best thing to get women playing, you know, is you have to want to play. A lot of the women now, they're not really interested in playing singles. When I was playing, singles was number one. You know, we made our name playing singles, just as the men make their name playing singles, king of the court. So to get the women in nowadays to play singles is very hard. It's a small bunch, and it's not enough to carry like a tournament of itself. You know, if we do have a tournament or someone else, association have a tournament, they will combine it with the men. So the women can't really stand on their own. Back when we were playing, the women, Queen of the Court was their day. You know, we had over 20-something players, women playing. So it's kind of hard. Hopefully, as the years go by, we're trying to improve. Well, not us and all, but you know, we work in conjunction with other tournament directors. So hopefully, we can get more women motivated to play.
Why you play personally?
Why? I just love it. It's relaxing. It just gives you great stamina. You just feel, you don't think about nothing else when you're playing. If you have a bad day and you get on the court and you play, you don't even think about it. You're just playing and you're just free, enjoying life. That's why I love this sport.
What are your best skills or strategies, like your superpower?
My biggest power was they called me a shooter. I used to shoot the ball a lot. Wow. Kill the ball on either side, right, left, you know. So that was basically biggest for me was shooting the ball.
Okay, 2 questions. What do you want to see in handball and what you don't want to see in handball?
What do I want to see handball go?
Yes.
The Olympics. I would love to see handball go with the Olympics. Right now, I'm kind of working a little bit with which is World Federation, International Federation, and they're based in Colombia, and they're working towards trying to get the tournament, handball tournament, into the Olympics. So every year we try to have tournaments in Europe. We're just about to have another 4 world title tournament in Mexico coming up in November. So we're trying to push as much countries. The more countries that's playing this sport, the better our chances are is getting it into the Olympics. Even as an exhibition game, you know, we're trying also to get into the Pan American Games as an exhibition game to see the sport. So hopefully that's the main goal.
What you don't want to see in handball?
I don't want to see the smoking around, the negative, I want to see more sportsmanship. Everyone together, you know. When we were playing, everybody, you may say something about, you know, on the court or whatever, and you leave it there, and that's it. And you come off, you shake, more shaking hands, and, you know, congratulating because you lose or win. You know, just congratulate the person. I want to see more of that, more togetherness.
Well, I want to congratulate you on having an awesome tournament, and I want to shake your hand too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Except for rookie. Okay. He's entitled. Tyrone.
Tyrone's in this?
How you doing?
How are you?
Good, good. You enjoyed the Nationals?
Yeah. Had a good time. There were 8. Wow. Yeah, I got to play 3 games. Yeah. Which I like, yeah. You know, Ronnie's a good player.